In 1945, the world celebrated the fall of Adolf Hitler. But what if that never happened? What if the Allies failed? What if D-Day was crushed? What if the Nazi flag flew over London, and maybe even New York? This isn't fiction. Historians have traced exactly how close we were to a very different future. Today, we dive into the chilling alternate history of a world where Hitler won World War II. In real history, Nazi Germany collapsed in 1945 after losing critical battles, like Stalingrad, Normandy, and the relentless bombing of Berlin. But let's imagine a different timeline. What if the German army had taken Moscow in 1941? What if the US stayed out of the war after Pearl Harbor? Or if the D-Day invasion on June 6, 1944, had completely failed? With those few events flipped, the Nazi regime could have gained unstoppable momentum and forced the Allies into surrender or retreat. If Hitler had won, Europe would have looked nothing like it does today. France, Belgium, and Poland would be occupied zones, their governments dissolved, their cultures crushed. The United Kingdom could have been invaded or isolated, reduced to a powerless island state. The Soviet Union might have collapsed, giving the Nazis total control of Eastern Europe and its resources. Meanwhile, the Axis powers in Japan could have taken all of East Asia and the Pacific, including Australia. The Greater Germanic Empire would stretch across continents, a superpower fueled by fear and propaganda. Now imagine daily life in this new world. Children being raised under Nazi ideology, history rewritten to erase dissent, books banned, speech controlled, and surveillance everywhere. Minority groups, including Jews, Roma, Slavs, and more, would be eradicated or enslaved, and anyone who opposed the regime, silenced, tortured, erased. This would be a world with no freedom of religion, no free press, and no democracy. Just one voice, Hitler's, broadcast endlessly. Would we still have the internet? Cell phones? AI? Maybe not. In Nazi Germany, technology was developed only to support the war machine and control the people. Scientific minds like Albert Einstein had already fled. Others would have been silenced or killed. Instead of global pop culture, we'd have state-controlled propaganda. No Marvel, no hip-hop, no YouTube. A dark, uniform world where creativity is crushed under military boots. Even if Hitler had won, could he have held on to power? Maybe. But history shows all empires crack. Resistance would have spread. Underground rebellions, sabotage, and secret movements would rise. And the brutality of the Nazi regime might have triggered its own downfall. From within, eventually the people might rise up. But at what cost? And how long would it take? Thankfully, this isn't the world we live in. Because in real history, the Allies didn't give up. Brave soldiers stormed the beaches of Normandy. Civilians resisted tyranny. Nations stood together and defeated one of the greatest threats the world has ever known. But it's important to remember, it was never guaranteed. History could have gone a different way. And if it did, we might not be free to even ask, what if? If you want more videos exploring alternate history and the hidden truths of the past, subscribe and turn on notifications. And remember, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes.